pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Those are the kind of things you do. Stay weird, get weirder. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Bullseye. Hold on to that. Get on. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. That's sure to be useful. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date.
Setuatan Bob Kila.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Evunkutu buvum kuzata ghetto.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Set auketo tul atu iamanau.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Lotu lu bayu auketo tul atu iamanau.
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized.
Tulua ba volua kuduvun poputue.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village,
Tolu keta ya wawanawe. Momombusu?
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back. But he's grateful you have.
Lua tolu tum.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Mao toliawahu. Momombusu?
After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other.
Ya, sewata mua Miami.
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least... Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young for... He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You've found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The nono's key energy is just what the pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Head back to the pen. Now that you've seen the nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while. But no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow.
Ja, se voita mua koibe o korfabe.
He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain.
Mopu far kobi.
The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived.
Kotuvon ko kumvun konu papa mofubak.
Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the Second Coming, and our lineage. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast.
Mopu far kobi. Mauketo tolu ayadre.
Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route.
Ka nuka nuburak.
The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own.
Mauketo tolu ayadre papa mofubak.
He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved.
Tolua lu toloka tuloya foto lola.
He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky Puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast.
Cantita duela bofo atu awa ya ea.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war.
Tu wavu.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Seems strong enough. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first, nor even its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
He's
heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He can't understand why you'd do such a thing. He won't make it out of here on his own.
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Seriously? I always thought better of you than that.
And you were wrong. There's always more dark than light.
There's still time to turn back.
They're already heading down my road.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
vunko vuntur, the water.
Out of Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's two nearby.
Koibe, okorfabe, kutai, hifar, befarbe.
The Jagni tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared.
Luatolu dum, Miami, kutai, hifar, befarbe.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Miami, beboko contabe.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Tolu keta.
In Jagni's case, letting the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life is part of their plan. They believe a cleansing is the only way the world can be saved. He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? Up for grabs. It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. Took care of it. Middle-lifed. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. The Sifu's door is always open for newcomers, but he cautions you. They'll expect you to behave, or you'll have to face the consequences.
Sibi? Lappanen aginkanman. Geradna falo hutut mus. Tugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next, and that's something you have in common. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here.
Waka mun losa lafanen aginkan man.
There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense your kind heart.
Geratna falo hutut vlade tik. Waka mun losada.
The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples.
Irvuru wusa hatmus. Manes schlengjok.
Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions.
Irvuru wusa hat.
Unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. Says there has to be some dark so that light can prove its purity above it, and promises this will happen if you help them unite the tribes, defeat the World Eaters, and save the Tree of Life. He could only hope for you to do that, and is thankful you know what's right. That's a sign of strength. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose, chosen to unite the tribes and take control of their destiny. The tribes need a firm hand guiding them into the future. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. You need to take the struggle to the enemy, or the enemy will bring it to you. When survival is threatened, there's no other option left but war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even though you don't share their values, they hope you'll lead with mercy. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. They passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward than using violence. Seeing you brings back his memory. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you...